The book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 25. O Lord, thou art my God. I will exalt thee. I will praise thy name, for thou hast done wonderful things. Thy counsels of old are faithfulness and truth. For thou hast made a city an heap, of a defenced city a ruin, a palace of strangers, to be no city, it shall never be built. Therefore shall the strong people glorify thee, the city of the terrible nations shall fear thee. For thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat, when the blast of the terrible ones is as a storm against the wall. Thou shalt bring down the noise of strangers as the heat in a dry place, even the heat with the shadow of a cloud. The branch of the terrible ones shall be brought low. And in this mountain shall the Lord of hosts make unto all people a feast of fat things, a feast of wines on the lees, of fat things full of marrow, of wines on the lees, well refined. I don't know what a lee is. Let's look that up. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. He will swallow up death in victory, and the Lord God will wipe away tears from off all faces. And the rebuke of his people shall he take away from off all the earth. For the Lord hath spoken it. And it shall be said in that day, Lo, this is our God, we have waited for him. And he will save us, this is the Lord. We have waited for him, and we will be glad and rejoice in his salvation. For in this mountain shall the hand of the Lord rest, and Moab shall be trodden down under him, even as straw is trodden down for the dunghill. And he shall be spread forth his hands in the midst of them, as he that swimmeth spreadeth forth his hands to swim. And he shall bring down their pride together with the spoils of their hands. In the fortress of the high fort of thy walls he shall bring down, lay low, and bring to the ground, even to dust. Chapter 26. In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah. We have a strong city, salvation will God appoint for whales and for walls and bulwarks. Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Jehovah is everlasting strength. I have a problem with them using these interchangeable words like this. They're trying to make it seem like Isaiah has said this word. And they tried to make it, they said that David said Jah in Psalms. So I need some clarification on that. I've already tried to get some yesterday. I'm just waiting for an answer. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high. The lofty city he layeth it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor, and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright dost weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Lord, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Lord, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see, but they shall see, and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yea, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. Lord, thou wilt ordain peace for us. for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord our God, other lords besides thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. They are dead, they shall not live. They are deceased, they shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them, and made all their memory to perish. Thou hast increased the nation, O Lord. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. Lord, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when thy chastening was upon them. Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery, is in pain and crieth out in her pangs, so have we been in thy sight, O Lord. We have been with child, we have been in pain, we have as it were brought forth wind, we have not wrought any deliverance in the earth, neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. The dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Okay, this part right here, these last 3 verses, I don't really know what the tribulation and all that is. I'm just better off for it. But it does say in the Bible that he takes the tares before the wheat, right? Okay. So people have, and there's movies, and some people think that like you're going to wake up one day and you're there because all the good people are taken. But that's not the way it occurs right here. Okay, the dead men, let's start 19. The dead men shall live, together with my dead body shall they arise. Awake and sing, that ye dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead. So, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as if it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. So, this is like the end of the world, right? They're talking about. And he says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place. And then we haven't gotten to Revelations yet, but that's when it's talking about like these seals. And one of the seals says, okay, go out, destroy, but don't touch any green thing. And go put the mark on my people so that nothing's going to happen to them, right? And this sounds like it's during this time, because it says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So that's pretty clear there. It says that my dead body shall arise. I don't know. People are dead. They turn to dust. It's not like they're skeletons. Even bones turn to dust, usually. Depends where you're buried. But some bones stay, like the skull. Probably. But I don't know how people are supposed to get up if you don't have a body. But I'm just reading what it says. I don't have this opinion about the tribulation and all this. But I can say that I have been watching this guy, and it's a little disturbing that they're so focused on being harpazoed and being raptured or whatever they're doing. That's not the reason I'm watching him, but it's a little shocking. And I'm trying to be as nice as I can and point them in the right direction. Because reading the Bible and trying to be right with God, you're not supposed to be focused like on getting out of here, like completely. That's not supposed to be your main focus. Like, your main focus is spreading the acts and the words. And that's not easy. And it's hard to even figure out how to do that sometimes. Most of the time. You have to go like more steps than you normally go, which is nothing. But you really have to kind of force yourself to use all these teaching moments. But I don't know how valuable it is to just focus. Like, people just focus on this thing, like, oh, we're gonna get taken in tribulation. I don't even know what that means. Something about, the you're one of the 144,000, and you're gonna be taken away, because that's why you have to be right with God, because when that day happens, then you better be ready. Okay, that's fine, but it's not something you like focus on every day. You have to focus on, like, I don't even understand what I just read. Look, what is Elise? An Lees? Why are they saying Jehovah? It's like, I think we should, well, this is just the way I study it. And the problem with being focused on that is that you are assuming that you know everything that's in this book right here. I don't even want to get into it. I don't even, I know what flat earth means, okay, but I don't even have an opinion on that, because I just don't know, and it's not my interest right now. But this thing about people just going up into the clouds, and then the other one about how some people, you wake up and then there's nobody there except Kirk Cameron in his movie, or now it's like, yeah, now all the dead's gonna, my dead body shall arise. And then there's the fourth thing, right, of course, it's going to be the tares are going to be taken before the wheat. And so that sounds most likely, and it sounds like, because that what all I know right now is that aligns with Revelation, when they talk about, okay, one of those angels is going to go out, one of the seals, and destroy like a bunch of people and a bunch of the earth, except don't touch the green things, and do not, and go and put the seal in my people in their forehead. So that's another question too, when people are like, that's a different seal, I guess, the mark of the beast seal. But there's a seal. See, he's just a copycat. See, there's a seal in Revelation that one of the angels do. And I don't know, this is kind of separate. So those are the living, those people are going to be sealed. Those are the wheat, right, per se. And then, I have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend to know. I'm just trying to figure it out. And those are the four points that I know. So maybe we will get more understanding. But this is clear. This aligns with Revelation. This verse 19 to 21. It's talking about the Lord just going to come down and punish everybody, punish the inhabitants of the earth, because it's just completely wicked, like it was, right? Like before, in the day of Babylon, before that, when the flood was, because of all the genetic humanism, and because everybody's mind and hearts were on evil continuously, and that's what's happening right now again. So he said he wouldn't flood it, but I think this is, he's definitely talking about coming back. But it's kind of hard to tell unless you study this real specifically. I feel this should be a very kind of detailed study. Like something like Job, you're just like, oh wow, he's complaining a lot. It's very easy to understand. But this is really prophesying. He's going from one thing to another. And this part, it really sounds like he's talking about the end of the world. And he is definitely saying that the dead people are going to arise and awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, and the earth shall cast out the dead. And then, but I don't really want to think about that. Who wants to think about something like this? How is it going to help anybody? I mean, these people that are just focused on the heart plaza, maybe it makes them feel better, but I don't think it's just a small aspect of it. I don't know. I guess people are just trying to figure stuff out, but I think it can be dangerous just focusing on that, because you're leading other people to focus just on that, and it's actually it's not where the focus should be. It's like kind of emotionally damaging, right? Like and also you're waiting for signs, right? And you're not supposed to see signs and be doing gematria and all that stuff, right? But they'll do that. And they'll say, well, it's because, we're just, waiting for the Lord. Yeah, but that's divination, right? I don't think the Lord would mind you doing that once in a while, but like as a focus of your ministry, it's selling him short, because there's so much other stuff to talk about. Like this, I just read 2 chapters, and I'm concerned about these names, because my show yesterday, they just talked about that the demonic spirits of Tartaria, their names are Av and Adonai. Well, how is this possible? Av means the 5th month of Hebrew, and Adonai is never used in this King James Version until you start looking up these other things. They start up in Psalms. It's David. David starts up calling God Jah. And then someone else says, Asaph, I think, says Yahweh, right? Those are the singers, right? They refer to him as Yahweh. And then when you start looking it up in the Strongs, then you start running into the words Elohim, Adonai, and, like Jehovah or something, right? And now it's just very confusing. So where is this information that these are the names of these bad spirits? Because English is like straight Phoenician Babylonian almost. Because if you're saying that those Hebrew words are the name of the demons, then are you just saying that the Hebrew got those words from Babylonian, from Sumerian, and that was their original meaning? Those names were originally demonic. Of the 5th month and Adonai were originally demonic, and that is confusing to me, because when you watch a Shabbat service, they every like 10th word out of their mouth is Adonai. All the prayers, it's they say it maybe like 100 times, like 200 times during like one mass, maybe more, probably more. And then you also say it when you're doing your mezuzah, right? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likbo mezuzah, right? So where did this idea come from? I'm waiting to find out. Because it sounds like they're trying to just equate Hebrew with Kabbalah. And that is where this Adonai. But I also heard that that's just a common way people address each other in Israel. Like, you know, or I know I've said this before too. I still don't know. Like Arab people there, like Habibi, hey Habibi, and I think maybe they say that. Maybe they're like, hey Adonai, and that's like blasphemous, right? But it's really confusing because they will not say God, right? And if they have in Strong's the word Adonai to refer to God, why on earth are they going around calling each other Adonai? And if they don't take it seriously, is it a pharisaical, like Hebraic Babylonian thing? This Av and Adonai that are supposed to be demon spirits of Tartaria? Where is this information coming from? Does anybody know? I'm just waiting for an answer. It'll probably be a while. But this is why. I mean, these are just words I can't even figure out. And I'm behind. I haven't looked up a lot. But this concept now at the end here of chapter 26 is leading into one of these ideas branching off of like the rapture thing, and then the other part, that's just something concerning to me. But I have now yesterday asked somebody about this, where it starts in 26 talking about Jehovah, all these words like this, because already in Psalms when it's talking about the Lord of my Lord, right? And to us as Christians, we'll be like, oh yeah, no, they're talking about Jesus. He is preemptively talking about Jesus. And you ask the Jew, I already went through this, right? And the Jewish prayer, oh no, that just means Adonai. It's just a colloquialism. That's just something, that just is, so it's, it's just some translation problems too. I think that Lord thing is like a big translation problem somehow. But this thing is a conceptual problem. This thing, where are people going to go? Millennial reign, blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to get involved with that. I have other interests. I have just words. I have to figure out the use of before even going to that level. That's the way I feel about it. Okay. Woo!